Today, we're calculating power bills to figure out exactly how much it costs for us to grow this plant. A couple weeks ago, I put out a video about light hanging height in regards to canopy, in regards to plant stretching, and DLI. Well, here, actually, listen to what I said. If I'm giving my early veg plants 300 ppfd, what is the difference between 300 ppfd from 12 inches away compared to 300 ppfd from 36 inches away? Is it light distance or the light intensity that keeps the plant from stretching? And it's a question that a lot of you commented on in the comment section, which was good because I put that question out there to get you thinking. Now, one of the things that I did see in the comment section was more than a couple people say, but man, your power bill is going to be so much higher. You're going to be wasting so much money and so much energy if you ran it higher on a higher setting versus lower dimmed down, even if you're getting the same DLI or the same PPFD at canopy level. Now, I applaud that. That is critical thinking. That is looking beyond the obvious. So, excellent. I am glad you brought that up. But I kind of already knew the answer to that question. And I could have told you then. I could tell you right now. But the internet being the internet, it's going to say prove it. And so today, this little device is going to prove it for you. And actually, since I'm in there, we're going to go through all of the pieces in your grow tent, from your circulating fan to your exhaust fan to the grow lights, and see exactly how much wattage it's using, how much it's costing you, and how you can calculate your power bill based off the grow equipment you have for every month. So let's get into it. I should probably start by explaining this little device. So basically, take it, plug it into your power source, and as you can see, it already comes to life. Now, there's a variety of functions on here, but the second key here, this is cost. This will actually help you calculate what your power bill will be running the device. So I've looked at my power bill. I'll show you how to look at your power bill here to calculate and get the number to add in for cost. Grab your most recent power bill, go to the back where they explain your charges for the month. Mine says current service detail. Power's not cheap. But anyways, right here you can see what it is charging me per kilowatt hour. So 0.0911. So essentially 9 cents per kilowatt hour is what I'm getting charged. And now you know what your cost is. You've got it calculated. I've got mine entered in. This is the function key. It will flip me through the different screens. This one, again, it's going to calculate the amount of time it's been running, the current wattage it is using, and then the kilowatt per hour cost of the device here. If I flip to the next screen, it's going to give me how many kilowatt hours, kWh, kilowatt hours have accrued during that time, and it will give me, I could leave this running for days on end and it will tell me what day it's calculating there. Next screen, voltage, that's 120 volts, good deal. Amps, the low wattage, so things will kind of fluctuate. It's not exactly just a static number, so that will give you the low number. Flip to the next screen, this will give you the high number, and we'll see exactly how much variance there is on these different devices through this experiment. Then I flip it, that'll tell me what the overload is. Again, that 9 cents, that's my cost per kilowatt hour here. And then back to the main screen where I'll stay, which is the wattage, cost, and time. All right, let's start with our 6-inch oscillating fan. We'll see exactly how much wattage this is drawing. We'll be able to run it for a particular duration of time, and that's actually going to help us calculate our cost. So first thing we got to do is take this and plug it into here. But before I do that, in your mind, how much wattage do you think your 6-inch oscillating fan is actually drawing? Because I think this number will surprise you, but we'll go ahead and plug this in here. Now, my fan, it has 10 speeds on it. Right now it's off, but all devices typically will have a little bit of draw from it. But let me go ahead and turn this on to level 1. So level 1 of 10, and that's pulling about half a watt on level 1. Now, in my grow tents, I typically am running these on 3 or 4. So let me go ahead and turn this up to level 3. If it were to be on level 3, I'm only using 1 watt draw from the wall. Now again, as time goes by, that 1 watt adds up. It will get to kilowatt hours, and then that kilowatt hours we can convert into a cost. But we'll let this run for a while. I want to go through the different speeds here again, because 1 watt, that's kind of surprising to me. I don't know if it's surprising to you, but let's go up level 5 here. Now this is level 5 of 10. It's at 1.8 watts, but I'm going to turn on the oscillation feature. And by turning on the oscillation feature, you can see that caused the wattage to go up. So at level 5 with oscillation, we're still only at about 4.5 watt power draw from the wall. Very minimal, but let's max this thing out. Let's go all the way to 10. Let's keep it oscillating and see what it's drawing. It's drawing about 8.2 watts. Hardly anything. Again, for full oscillation and full power, we're going to let it run for a little bit longer, and then we'll calculate the cost for the 6-inch oscillating fan. So this 6-inch oscillating clip fan has been running for nearly an hour. It is plugged into my cool little meter here, and as you can see, it's currently pulling 7.6 watts from the wall, 59 minutes, 31 seconds. But let's just check the highs and the lows here. So we go to the low. Well, we don't need that. The high, 8.3. That's where we left it. But it seems to have come down to about 7.5 and averaged that for the last little while. So to find out how much this is actually going to cost us, again, this is full speed, full oscillation, and we're at the 1 hour mark. Now it says it's costing me 0 cents, but it's got to cost me something. So let's see how many kilowatt hours this is used. It's used 0.007 kilowatt hours, and I'm paying 9 cents per kilowatt hour. So whatever that is of 9 cents, that's what we just paid to run this clip fan. And next up will be our 6-inch inline fan. This is a piece of gear that growing in tents, you cannot get away without having an exhaust fan. So this is something that everybody uses. 6-inch is the most common size. So again, it's good to test it and see what wattage it actually pulls. And just like that fan before this one, place your bets on how much wattage this will take. We're gonna go ahead and plug this in here. Okay, so with the power off, you can see it's drawing about 1.5, 1.6 watts. Turning this up to level 1, it's drawing 3 watts, level 2. I'm drawing about 6 watts by running it on level 2. But like I said, this goes all the way to 10, so what's the fun of not pushing it? Level 5, here we go. Let's increase the speed to level 5. And you can see the wattage increasing. You also hear the sound increasing, but level 5, we're looking at about 25 watts from this 6-inch exhaust inline fan. But let's put it all the way up, number 10. You'll hear the sound start to increase. But as it gets all the way up to the top, it is pulling, it's pulling about 61 watts when it's set to 10. Honestly, if you are running your exhaust fan at 10 out of 10, 24 hours a day, you need to upgrade your inline fan to something larger that's going to move more air. So I'm going to go ahead and get this plugged in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run the exhaust fan at 5 because I only ever really run it at 2 or 3. So 5 is going to be more than I will actually be paying, but it's also going to give you guys a good idea of what to expect. Because again, 5 is the middle point. We'll double it to figure out how much it would cost to run maximum the full time. And at a level 5, we're pulling about 25 watts from the wall right now. All right, we are coming to a noisy end for our 6-inch inline fan. As you can see here, we are right at the minute mark, or sorry, the 1 hour mark, and it's still hanging out at that 24 watts from the wall. I'm actually gonna come over here and turn this down real quick, down to 2, which is the level that I normally run it at. So the wattage that you're seeing here is the actual wattage I would be used to using, and that's, well, that's only pulling 6 watts from the wall. But again, after an hour running this at speed number 5, which is half of the power, it used 0.024 kilowatt hours. So, and for the one you have all been waiting for, the grow light. We are going to find out what your cost difference is running this thing at 40% or 100%. You seem to think it will be miles apart in price. We're going to find out. Now, right now, the light is off. We're going to turn this on. Minimum, it starts at 11%. So what is 11%? What does it say there on the screen? It says 40 watts. Now, let's cut to the chase. Let's go up to 50%. 50%. This light is drawing 165 watts from the wall at 50%. So if we go to 100, presumably that's going to be roughly 330 watts. So let's find out. Let's go up to 100%. There we go. 100%. This light is drawing 326 watts roughly. Now, what is the price difference of drawing 326 watts or 160 watts? Let's find out. I'm going to start off. I've reset the timer to 0, plug the light in here, turn it up to 50%, and then I'm going to let it run for an hour, and we'll come back and look at the data. Again, it's at that 165, 50%. All right. As you can see, we are still at 50% here. I'm going to zoom in on this. All right, so there we are. So we're coming up on the 1 hour mark. We're still at 163 watts. Let's go through at this hour mark and take a look at some of the data we were able to get. So in that hour, we did a 0.163 kilowatt hours. That's what we will be charged. Flip through, that's the voltage, that's the amperage. This was the low wattage, that's not even turned on. And then the high wattage, so 165.3, never got above that. And again, not much fluctuation there. So we go back to the main screen. We had 1 hour, it's at 163 watts right now. But what is our total cost? Our total cost is 1 cent. 1 cent. So at 100%, running this light higher, running it higher, turning the knob, is it really going to cost that much more to get the better coverage from the light? We'll find out. Let's do another test. Boom. All right, back to 0, kilowatt hours, back to 0. So let me turn this up to 100%. As you can see, this went up as well. It is now drawing 324 watts. We'll be able to check the high and the low, but there you are, 100%. I'm going to come back in an hour. We'll look at the same data. As you can see here, we're still at 100%, and on here we are coming up to the hour 59 up to 60. Okay, so we're currently at 319 watts. We'll go ahead and check the highs and the lows for that, but again, we're at the 1 hour mark. So let's see, we used 0.320 kilowatt hours, which At 50% for 1 hour, it was 0.16. So it really did 50% to 100%. Kilowatt hours, it doubled. So that's accurate. It remained the same. Voltage, amperage, the watt low, 163. That's from when we had it at 50% and started it out there. But we brought it up to 100 and the high point was 324 watts. So that was the maximum it drew during that 1 hour period. But again, we're currently at 319 watt draw from the wall. We're an hour into it. And for that 1 hour, it cost me 2 cents. So to settle that argument of running your light higher and running it at a higher percentage compared to lower to the canopy and a lower percentage, well, it's going to save you a single penny. And I don't think that's unreasonable. Those numbers appear to be very low, lower than probably most of you expected. But let's take a look at what the things cost on a monthly basis. Here's the monthly cost for running my 6-inch circulating fan 24 hours a day at the highest speed. In 1 hour, 0.007 kilowatt hours was used. In a day, that's 0.168 kilowatt hours. Times the national average of 20 cents per kilowatt hour comes to 3 cents per day, or a total of $1.01 per month. Next up, we have the monthly cost of running my 6-inch exhaust fan. And again, this was run at the middle speed at number 5 and calculated for 24 hours a day. At 1 hour, it was 0.024 kilowatt hours. 1 day total was 0.576 kilowatt hours. It's a total of 12 cents per day and cost me $3.46 per month to run that exhaust fan. The light at 50% for 1 hour, it was 0.163 kilowatt hours. And over an 18-hour day, we're assuming veg here, that's 2.934 kilowatt hours used. Comes to a total of 59 cents per day, or monthly, it's $17.70. We'll compare that with the light at 100%. In 1 hour, it was 0.321 kilowatt hours. In that 18-hour veg cycle day, it was 5.778 kilowatt hours. And that was $1.16 per day, or $34.80 per month, which came to a difference of $17.10 running at 100 compared to 50% for the 18 hours. I also wanted to look at the flowering schedule, which is 12 hours. So here again, at 50%, we have the same kilowatt per hour, but at 12 hours, 1.956, which came to 39 cents per day, or $11.70 per month to run that grow light at 50% for 12 hours. Compared to the 100% for the 12-hour flowering cycle, that was 3.852 kilowatt hours, which came out to 77 cents per day, or $23.10 per month to run that light for 12 hours a day at 100%, which was a difference of $11.40 per month compared to 50% at 12 hours. So there you have it. That is some hard facts, some data you can work with to determine the cost of your own grow room. Now, the price difference between running the light higher versus closer to the canopy, personally, I feel it's worth it in the long run for the increased yield because of the better light coverage. But let me know if you think it's worth it down in the comments. ChadWestport.com is where you could go to find my genetics and merch. Keep it locked right here on the Chad Westport YouTube channel. I'd appreciate it if you subscribed if you already haven't. That really helps me out. And thank you for watching. I hope that has helped you. And above all, guys, remember to party on.